La OTAN ha celebrado una exitosa cumbre en Ankara. Al menos así lo creen los jefes de Estado y de Gobierno de los países miembros de esta alianza que esta semana se reunieron en Turquía. Un saludo para todos, bienvenidos a The News con Carol Guerrero. Esta semana estuve en Ankara en la cumbre de la OTAN y allí tuve la posibilidad de hablar con algunos de los líderes de los países miembros de esta alianza. Les pregunté, entre otras cosas, ¿qué balance hacen de esta cumbre? Esto fue lo que me dijeron.
I think that summit was positive. Of course, there were a lot of speculations about what would happen actually, but the atmosphere in the meeting room, the discussion was very constructive and positive. And I sometimes now laugh that there are two realities. One is outside of the meeting room and another is inside. And I think that in the meeting room we all understood that America needs Europe, but Europe needs America, and that we need to find a way how to work together, how to strengthen our defense and security capabilities, how to implement 5% promise that was made last year in the Hague summit, how to address support for Ukraine, but also how to address the Middle East situation and the current situation in the Strait of Hormuz.
I think it's been a good summit because we have followed up what we agreed last year, namely to conduct an increase in spending, which is happening in most countries, a shift of burden that Europe has to take a larger part of the burden, and this is happening. So this is the good sign of the summit.
I think the summit was very successful, and we have very positive outcome of this conference. The countries and the main ally in the United States have repeatedly emphasized the solidarity and unity of our organization, and it means not only the delivering of 5% for defense spending, but this is also about our participation and about our contribution to different international missions, like the mission in the Hormuz Strait. My country is delivering. My country is ready to spend at least 5% of GDP for the defense, putting together with other not only core spending but also defense-related spending. Our total defense spending is approaching 7% level. This is really a pretty high level of spending. But my country is also ready to contribute with demining capabilities in Hormuz Strait. So I think other countries would probably will follow our suit and will follow our example, because this is, in my understanding, the precondition of our solidarity, of our unity, and very good and constructive mood, which was dominating all the time in today's conference.
Pero, ¿dónde quedaron las diferencias con el presidente de Estados Unidos? Recordemos que Donald Trump dijo estar muy decepcionado y molesto con los europeos porque no lo apoyaron en la guerra contra Irán. Escuchemos lo que expresaron al respecto.
Well, I think President Trump, he can take note of the fact that investment is going up. It has gone significantly up. I think the Europeans' part of defense spending in NATO has gone from, around 15% in 2014 to in the mid-40s now. And we are moving towards the 50-50 situation. That is significant. And then I think, President Trump will be a man who will always point at some areas where he's not pleased. That is his style and, perhaps his responsibility. And then each country has to answer for itself.
Well, problem solving is not about one summit. Problem solving is an everyday job, and we are doing that every day. For instance, Estonia said from the very beginning, when President Trump said that European allies should also assist in Strait of Hormuz, we said very clearly that we are open for discussions. We are part of that planning process, and I believe that also the American colleagues and friends will see clearly that Europe is stepping up. Europe is taking more responsibility about its own security, and also globally we are a very, very trustful partner.
Después de esta cumbre en Ankara, el propio presidente de Estados Unidos, Donald Trump, reconoció avances de sus aliados en uno de los temas clave para el mandatario estadounidense: el aumento del gasto en defensa, que según el compromiso establecido en la cumbre del año pasado en La Haya, debe alcanzar el 5% del Producto Interno Bruto. Todo parece indicar que sí se está cumpliendo con este compromiso.
Estonia is spending already today more than 5% to core defense. It's not only about what we agreed in The Hague, that we said that it should be 5%, 3.5 to the core defense and 1.5 defense-related topics. We are doing more as a small country and neighbor to Russia. We need to do that. We understand that. And we are showing also the leadership, and then we are showing that it can be done. When there is a political will, and of course for us it is very, very important that all the NATO members will take this, what has been agreed, very seriously, and we will even exceed this pathway to 5%.
Para nadie es un secreto que los países bálticos, Lituania, Letonia y Estonia son el punto más vulnerable de la OTAN en el norte de Europa. El presidente de Letonia me contó desde Ankara cómo es la situación en esa zona en este momento.
The situation is actually, as always, we live next to Russia and Belarus, and those countries are not exactly our friends. Actually, we see that they are launching disinformation campaigns, hybrid warfare campaigns, especially migration is being used as the hybrid warfare element. Those are things that, frankly, you live through every day. But I would also say that I was very pleased to hear that lead nation of multinational brigade of NATO, Canada, has announced that they are staying for another 5 years, that their contribution continues to be as it is. So we have also allies on the ground, and we should not forget that. We have also Spanish troops, we have Italian troops, Polish troops, we have many friends and allies. So we are not seeing at this point, today, that may change, but not seeing today any preparations on the Russian side to launch large-scale military attack as we know. But we are concerned, of course, about all kinds of possible provocations.
Otra de las cuestiones que hacen parte del debate en cada cumbre de la OTAN, en particular desde 2022 tras la invasión a gran escala de Rusia a Ucrania, es si es realista pensar en que Ucrania ingresará algún día a esta organización del Tratado del Atlántico Norte.
The position of Latvia has been always very clear, crystal clear, and that position dates back to 2008, when the Bucharest summit approved a declaration saying one day Ukraine is going to be part of NATO. So we support the membership of Ukraine into NATO. We believe that the membership of Ukraine into NATO would actually bring a very capable military force that we all need, and also strengthen our security. But to take that decision, we need all 32 to agree, and we are not here.
Y finalmente el presidente de Lituania, Gitanas Nausėda, despejó las dudas en torno a si la OTAN se mantendrá unida a pesar de todas las discrepancias con el presidente de Estados Unidos, Donald Trump. Do you think NATO will remain united despite?
Absolutely no questions about that, and NATO will remain the most powerful collective defense organizations in the world, because it proved to be successful, and this is our duty to continue our good cooperation in this organization.
Y esto ha sido todo por ahora. Gracias por haberme acompañado hasta aquí. Los espero en una próxima ocasión con más hechos de actualidad aquí en The News con Carol Guerrero.